I think that everyone knows about it, but I might as well just go over with you now, just because it's so widespread all of a sudden. And I wanted to talk about it because this is definitely something that needs to be addressed, and that is the corruption scandal that's going on with Robinhood. So, for those who don't know, if you somehow don't know about it, you know, it's been all over the news and stuff like that, and forums and sometimes. A Reddit page found not a glitch, but a strategy or a kind of kink in the system. And in that system, what happened was that they were able to find certain stocks, GameStop, BlackBerry, and AMS. I'm not 100% sure what that one is, but AMS, BlackBerry, and GameStop stocks. And what happened was that they, well, obviously, a bunch of people on a forum on Reddit got together and started buying stocks. What this did, it made them serious profit. Okay, like a lot of money. Which would all be a fun and dandy. I mean, it's not like it's coming from a bunch of rich people, stockholders, right? A bunch of, you know, rich people are having to pay for people who found a kink in the system or found a mistake or whatever and was able to use it. To no detriment to anybody's except for the people that really it wouldn't affect them that bad either way. A bunch of billionaires actually were affected by this. And now what you might think is that, oh, well, that's nice. I mean, it would really matter. The problem is, though, is that corruption was definitely to play in this, and not in the sense that the people who bought the stocks were the bad people, but the way that certain places, a certain app handled this was absolutely disgusting, and we're gonna get right into it. So, as we all know, money plays a big part in everyone's life. It can make people do things that go against their moral code, go against what they believe in, and definitely go against what an app was designed for, which was designed for allowing people and helping people turn a profit in stocks. Basically, the whole thing was taking the rich, give to the poor, like the story Robinhood would go. Which is great. They take from billionaires that don't need the fucking money. I mean, what's it gonna do? Oh no, you lose one yacht. A billionaire with 10 yachts, he loses one of them. Oh boy. But what the problem is with this is that people who decided to, like, the billionaire, the rich people, decided that they were going to pay Robinhood to shut down stocks that would allow people to gain and profit off of billionaires. Now, that's bad, because that's one, you're stopping trade, and, you know, that Robinhood's whole thing was to allow trade and to allow people, you know, common folk, the 99%, to profit off of the 1% that didn't need the money. Allow poor people to take from the rich in order to, you know, make a living. Unfortunately, though, Robinhood fell for, you know, corruption, and actually has decided that they were going to cut off all trade, meaning that not only are people losing money now, they are not making money. The billionaires are now profiting off of this. They are literally taking from the poor and giving to the rich. The one thing that their app was designed not to do. Their one goal was to sit back and watch people take from the rich. Their one thing, it wasn't like we're stealing all their money. What we took, or what people took that invested in these stocks, took a fraction, barely made a dent in the overall amount of money that these shareholders, that the people had. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I know stocks. I'm not going to pretend like I know exactly what I'm supposed to call these people, so I'm just going to call them billionaires. Not stockholders. I don't know. Stockholders, I don't even, you know, fuck it, I don't care. Regardless, Robinhood fell for corruption and now has stopped people from profiting. People who, you know, needed the money. Literally life-changing amounts of money. To the point where they literally could have a life. You know, could make a life. Get out of, you know, a crappy motel that had cockroaches infested in the walls. Now can no longer do that. One person literally was able to pay their full college tuition, something that they never thought they'd be able to do. But guess what? Now that, you know, corruption and greed is taking over. Now all of a sudden you can't do that anymore. People of power in the sense of money-wise, billionaires, have done this for years. They have done this for as long as the stock market has been around. But it's not a problem until they start losing money. They are able to profit off of the poor and use them as fleshlights for so long, but eventually when the tide turns, all of a sudden it's a mortal sin and that everyone who did it needs to be fucking purged. I don't get it. I'm not gonna pretend like I understand exactly what's going on. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not hurt. I mean, that's awful. I think that's completely awful that the one purpose an app was made for, you know, actually helping people who need the money gain money, has now prevented that. Robinhood's one job was to allow people of, you know, that don't have as much power, money, to gain money. And of course, now that because they're getting paid and they're making a lot of money, of course now all of a sudden they decided that, oh, we can't do that anymore because we're threatening the stock market. We're threatening the volatile stock market. Of course, that's bullshit. That can be close from the truth. They're just doing it because they made a bunch of money. I honestly think that this is really freaking disgusting, and honestly, I couldn't be more angry right now, even if I tried. I mean, it doesn't affect me in any way, but just the fact that that an app made specifically to help poor people out now can't even do the one thing they were made to because they fall into corruption. I think it's honestly very disgusting the fact that, you know, people are finally being able to profit, and people that don't have as much money are finally able to bring down people with billionaires and just take a little bit of their money, you know, because they were the ones who decided to invest in these stocks, you know. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that they can steal from the poor, but when we start taking from them, you know, the 1%, all of a sudden the 1% throws a fucking hissy fit on the ground, crying, you know, pissing his pants, and all of a sudden it's such a bad thing because we're doing it and we also be locked up. I think that's freaking disgusting, and you know, people are falling for it. There's people on Twitter that are defending these billionaires. Oh, we shouldn't be taking from the rich and the 1%. I don't know how retarded you could be to think that not taking from the 1%, people who don't really need the money because they have enough to go to the, they have enough to probably go to the moon and back, you know, people who have enough money, people that can survive, people that literally can buy 5 different houses and fully pay them off and more, eventually start losing a little bit of money for people who actually need the money. You know, their money that they're not using, or the money that they just waste on random shit like another dot after they already have 10 of them, now is being taken by someone who could use the money. Now all of a sudden that's a bad idea, but it's okay because they can take from the poor who actually could use the money and put something productive forward. It's weird. It's weird. People now older, people who are billionaires, you know, have like kids. Some of them have kids, a family, a couple different houses, but then look down upon us and wonder what the hell is going on and why we're so disgusting and why we can't afford to pay off a fucking mortgage off a house. Listen. I think it's disgusting how they view us as dirty, but when we actually look at what they're doing and their practices, all we can see is scum, because these guys aren't actually doing anything helpful for the economy in any shape or form. In fact, all they're doing is making things a lot worse. They're making America less of a freedom place and more of a place where poverty and poor people suffer as the rich are able to get whatever they want, and I think that's freaking disgusting. America has turned from a place where everyone gets freedom, everyone has equal opportunity, has turned into a place where only the rich can prosper, and I think that's fucking disgusting. Like, America has always been somewhat corrupt. I mean, let's be real. But I think it's even more disgusting that it's happening in the public vision, and now apps dedicated to stopping the 1% from actually taking advantage of the 99 other people, of the rest of the population, have now turned their backs on the people they swore to protect from this type of stuff, and they'll turn their backs on them, and are now allowed the rich people to walk all over them yet again on an app that was supposed to protect them. If you could be any more disgusting, you'd be a fucking toilet in a 7-Eleven that hasn't been cleaned for 10 weeks. I don't know how more disgusting you could be. I think it's absolutely despicable what they're doing, and, you know, I don't know what else to say, man. I'm just so pissed. Like, this is absolutely disgusting. You know, corruption has been forever. It goes on in politics, it goes on in politics. It goes on everywhere you see it. It goes on in schools. It goes schools in the sense that popular kids get better grades. That's corrupt. Popular kids and the athletic kids. You know, I know that for a fact. I have a teacher that's just like that. Popular kids are able to get more help than the kids that aren't as, you know, athletic. Not popular, athletic. And kids, you know, that are less athletic don't really get that. One of my teachers actually allows more chances and allows them to retake tests for kids who are athletes if they don't do all the homework. Alright, our policy is if you don't do all the homework, you can't do a retake. I am not an athletic kid. I don't play, you know, school sports. So what happens to me? No, I have to follow the rules. But of course, that one athletic kid that plays fucking baseball, soccer, does track and all that shit. No, he gets to take as many retakes as he wants. Why? Because he's a fucking athlete. And guess what? That's corruption. Maybe on a smaller scale, but in fact, that is a perfect example of the stock market right now. The apps and the government and all that stuff are the teacher. The athletic kids are the 1%, and me, I am the 99%, or the not billionaires. Guess what? That diagram works. That metaphor works perfectly. Although it's not really a metaphor. That actually does happen. It actually does happen, but just you get it. You get my drift. What happens is that, you know, the 1% are able to prosper, or, you know, take retakes without having to follow the proper procedures, and then me, we have to follow all the proper procedures, and we still get dicked over. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And, you know, I don't really think... is anyone going to do anything about it? Is Wall Street going to do anything about it because they're the people who are losing all their money? No, absolutely not. Nothing's going to happen to them. Why? Because we're just so corrupt they can just start paying off everybody. A lawsuit has been filed against Robinhood. Do I think it's gonna go anywhere? No, I think that someone from Wall Street is gonna pay it off. Like, pay people to get this, you know, cleared up, you know. But I think it's absolutely disgusting what's going on, and I think my analogy worked perfectly in the sense that, you know, just whenever you think of corruption, think of it like that. And I'll reiterate it just again, just so everyone gets like the full picture, because they know it said it kind of weird. So think of the you know, the billionaires in this situation as the athletic kids. Think of the teacher as, you know, governments, apps, and you know, people who hold the stocks. You know, like, okay, think of the teacher as, in this instance, Robinhood. So for clarification, the rich kids are the athletic kids, Robinhood is the teacher, and then I, in the example I gave, is, well, everyone else. You know, like the quote-unquote poor people, as we call them. Like, seriously, that's a perfect example. The athletic kids get to prosper because they get to break some rules. But we have to follow I have to follow the rules exactly. I think it's absolutely disgusting that this shit is allowed to go on. Again, though, you know, money buys a lot of things, even power, but money can buy a lot of things. Maybe not happiness, but sure as hell power, and I think that's absolutely terrible. I think that, you know, I do believe in the billionaires should be taxed more, or the rich people should be taxed more than, you know, people who, you know, don't have as much money. I hate to call them poor, because I'm not talking about just like people struck in poverty. I'm talking about your average everyday Joe, your middle class. So when I say poor people, I mean like middle class, because again, to billionaires, we're all poor, but I'm talking about middle class families is in debt, you know, is in college, has student loans, has a house, not fully paid off, so they still have to pay for the house, they have to pay for a car, make monthly payments on a car. That's what I'm talking about. So just your average person. And I think that, you know, you know, the 99% should have to pay less taxes. The 1% should make the difference. Pay their fair share of the taxes like everyone else. Let's say it's like $2. They pay $2. We only have to pay $1. So the billionaires have to pay extra, like an additional $1. So each billionaire, instead of having to pay for $2, would have to pay $3 instead of the $2. But we have to pay less, so we only make up the difference. We do 1. They do 2. Total must be 4, so they make up the difference with the extra $1. I think that, I mean, of course it'd be on a broader scale than just $1 fucking $1, but that's just my example. But in all honesty, though, I think that that's how it should be working. I don't think because you do that, you're putting way too much power in the hands of billionaires, and I think that that's where we're going wrong. Is that we're giving too much power to the billionaires of America. But I guess that's my 2 cents on the matter. I think that what's happened is completely disgusting. I hope that, you know, something happens in the sense that a lawsuit does take place and that we the people actually see justice in this. I highly doubt that we will, though. I mean, I'm just being honest. I highly doubt that we're going to see any improvement, as corruption will always be there. But at least if we have Robin Hood out of the way, disgusting site that pledged to help the people, but just help the 1% instead, I think is absolutely disgusting. But I think that's about it. So anyways, yeah, I'll talk to y'all later, I guess. I'm upsetty spaghetti. Okay, good. Wow, that was loud. What the hell? But anyways, yeah. Anyways, I will talk to you all later, guys. Stay awesome, stay fresh, and stay you guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.